There's a Humphrey about.
Alright, miss, how's it going, alright?
Yeah, fine, thank you, sir. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. What are you up to?
I'm just setting up a lesson on changing the subject of an equation.
Changing the subject? Well, surely the subject is maths, isn't it?
Well, it is maths, but within algebra there's a topic called changing the subject of an equation, and we have to identify first of all what the subject is and then change it. So, for instance, in the equation that I have here, the subject is actually u.
What, me?
No, the letter u. It's on its own, and so that means that it's actually the subject of this equation.
Okay.
Now, the instruction says we have to change it to make t the subject of the equation.
Alright.
And in order to do that, you do have to have the fundamental knowledge on how to solve an equation and how to move the terms around. So, we can go through it. We want to get t on its own on one side of our equals sign, and we want to get the other terms on the other side. So, we start by getting rid of the term here. And the way that we get rid of it is by subtracting it, because v take away v would give us 0.
Right.
There are different ways of actually doing this, but if you do it my way, we take away that and we end up with 0 and just 2t on this side.
Okay.
But whatever we do to one side of an equation, we have to do to the other side in order to keep the equation working. So I'm going to subtract a v from there as well.
Okay.
And what happens is, this one comes down to become 2t. We've got nothing here because that's become 0. But we've got u take away v.
Right.
Alright? Now we know that 2t equals u take away v, but we've got to make just t the subject. So what we have here actually is 2 times t. So in order to get 1t, we're going to divide it by 2. And that will give us t on this side. But just as we did earlier, we have to do the same to this side of the equation. So we're going to divide this side by 2 as well. And the way that we can show that with algebra, quite simply, is by turning it into a fraction and putting 2 on the bottom. There is an alternative. You could have said that t equaled u over 2, take away v over 2. And either is perfectly acceptable as an answer.
Wow, that is incredible. I wish we had another one that I could practice.
Now you come to mention it, here we have one here.
Hey, cracking.
So, Mr. Phillips, what's the subject, you think, of our equation at the moment?
Well, x seems to be on its own, so I would say at the moment it's x.
Excellent.
And we are trying to make y the subject. So what I would be right in thinking, first of all, we need to get rid of the z on that side. So because it's a negative z minus z, if we were to add z to both sides...
What a good idea.
Excellent. So we would get x plus z would give us 3y.
Fantastic.
Now, I seem to remember as well, we're trying to make y the subject. At the moment we've got 3y, so if we divide 3y by 3, we get y.
We do.
But as you said earlier, we have to do the same to both sides, so we have to divide x plus z by 3.
Excellent.
So that would give us x plus z over 3, or x over 3 plus 2 over 3 equals y.
Z over 3.
Oh,
sir.
z over 3.
Z
My
over
mistake.
3. It's probably my z's don't look particularly z-like. But that's the job done. We haven't got to do anything else. We haven't got to solve it. We now told them what y equals. We've made y the subject of the equation. And either that or that is perfectly acceptable as an answer.
Brilliant. How about then we leave this equation for people to try on their own.
Making x the subject of the equation. So at the moment you've got y as a subject. What would you do in order to get x on its own?
Well, how about we leave that one for kids to come and tell us?
Brilliant. What a great idea. Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.